That was a sexy new intro. Welcome back to the Throwdown OCE Championship League Play 2. Yummy Cheeseman Courier and I'm Hysterics, and we're glad to welcome you back now with Tainted Minds taking on Retirement Home, who had a bit of a struggle in that series.
It was not the Retirement Home that I expected to see. I had a chat with Days last night, and
how's it going?
He's all right, I guess. But I don't think there is a lot of trust in that team. After their scrims, they weren't ready, and it was not surprising to me to see that they weren't gelling too well.
Well, like, just watching the way they interact on the pitch in chat, I'm unsurprised that they don't have the best camaraderie known to man.
I think they get in on each other, but Tainted Minds, they are in the same boat. Last week, they did not perform well at all. They were slow, not necessarily slow, but slower than we'd expect to see from Tainted Minds. And Jules in particular, I think there was a real lack of confidence there.
Yeah, I think when your teammates chew you out a lot, it definitely does have an impact on the way you play. And I think, coming back to what you were saying as well about having that gel between the teams, even if you are mates, there's a line where ribbing becomes just not constructive.
Yeah, it is meant to be a professional team. Tainted Minds, though, they need to pick it up this week. This is a good match to get them warmed up into the day, because even if it takes them a little bit of time to get into it, they just are going to be up against maybe a deflated Retirement
And
Home.
even if Retirement Home didn't perform that well in the last series, they've still had their series to get into this one. And you can sit down and you can say what made us not gel in that last series and how can we fix it, because they're three mates. They made the team randomly and with a beautiful name like Retirement Home.
The important part is that Retirement Home, they haven't had the opportunity really to show themselves against the top teams yet.
Yeah.
And then they're not yet down and out. That loss against Legs Are Silly doesn't knock them out of the competition, but this one might put them in a tough spot to get into top 4.
Yeah, and they're in a bad situation as well, in the sense that diverse Legs Are Silly, who are known to be a more aggressive team that want to, well, we now see can do good pressure plays as well.
Yeah.
And you're going up against Tainted, who are a pretty aggressive team that can do big passes and pressure plays too. So if you fell to one, you're probably going to fall to the other.
I think the big difference is Tainted Minds are going to have a lot more infields and a lot more quick 1-2 redirects that we weren't seeing from Retirement Home last match, and obviously we weren't seeing from Legs Are Silly.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be a definite out of the fire frying pan situation, kind of inverting those. But yeah,
it's the RLCS roster, and it's, without Kia, with Jules, now with Tainted Minds, is this the week that they come back strong, Courier?
Well, hopefully. Yeah, they don't see Kia across the pitch, get a little heartfelt like, "Oh, buddy."
I don't think it's going to be like
that. No, not at all. Not the way they play with each other.
So, Courier, let's get Tainted Minds or Retirement Home.
I think it's going to be Tainted Minds. The fact that they just had that win from Legs Are Silly is just Tainted Minds going to take it.
Okay. For me, Tainted Minds as well. They have a lot to prove here, and Kia is not going to be happy if he loses.
It definitely won't be. I think for Retirement Home, Yummy, sorry to cut you off, I think that Tainted Minds is still one of the strongest teams on the pitch. I think they had an off week last week. I'm going to lock them in as well, but I'm concerned that Retirement Home, this might be the deflation, and having a 2-series day, this might be the deflation that knocks them out.
I don't think it's going to knock them out. They've still got some really good matches to go, but losing to Legs Are Silly was absolutely devastating.
Oh, yeah.
To the point where, they might uninstall at the end of today. They want to see other people lose, and now it's them on the back foot.
Well, Tainted Minds taking on Retirement Home, and if they're able to get through Tainted Minds, if they're able to push through this RLCS team, then maybe things will turn out for the best. Retirement Home already on the offense and trying to push forward. Tainted Minds losing the ball here. Retirement Home around the corner. And Elusive is going to get it all the way past 2 days. For Tainted Minds, it's a really important match for them, because moving forward, they need wins after last week.
They need to show that they are a full team unit and that they can play together and get these in fast. But we have to look at Days, I think, from Retirement Home. Last week, he had the highest score per game of any player, and this week, it was the complete reverse. He needs to step up.
Jules with the pass. Remember the fast play. CJ, a bit far to the right there, and hopefully not seeing a kind of rinse and repeat from last week. Into defense, CJ rotates back. Jules is here now, and Elusive's going to pop it up. That's a demolition over to Kia. As Kami gets that one, Jules sets it up off the backboard, looking for the double touch, the triple, find the quadruple, but Tainted Minds were not there to capitalize.
Those are the individual plays that Jules can pull off that can lead to a lot of the Tainted Minds goals. He's very hard to read. He gets a lot of plays, and Tainted Minds, I don't think they value that enough.
Maybe not. We're talking about getting chewed out, but that's a whole different story. Jules back, sends it away. Days will rotate around. That'll center, but it's back over to CJ. CJ being fast to the ball. Days gets bumped around. That could have been the difference. CJ centering it. Very dangerous passes here from Tainted Minds.
We're already seeing a huge change-up. There were no big passes like that in the last match. Now there's two, but a miss in defense could have led to a goal. Just get clears out by Kia.
Close call by Tainted Minds, but Kami's still able to push the ball forward, and this is what you didn't see against Legs of Silly, where Retirement Home getting choked out just a little bit more. Tainted Minds able to push back up. These clears coming left, right, and center. Kami gets demoed. Big miss. That's what you need to happen from Retirement Home. They need to slot those ones in.
It seems mechanics is Kia's breaking point right now as the misses are coming out from Retirement Home. Too many opportunities being given away to Tainted Minds.
Now with a bit of freedom on the ball, CJ will able to push up. Days will actually leave this around the corner in front of the goal square. Pops it up over to Kia. Some good coordination, but I think better from Tainted Minds right now. Getting these clears and trying to put them on the defense. Tainted Minds, they're able to react well so far.
This has been very good from Tainted Minds, keeping the pressure, or keeping some shots and some opportunities, but not able to keep the pressure. They still don't have their rotations down pat.
Jules around the corner. This is what we needed to see. Cleaner rotations, cleaner play from Tainted Minds. Missing the ball from Kami. CJ to recover. Right down center field. Kami will push it and it still goes over the top, but all the way back to Tainted Minds. With a bit of speed on the ball, CJ able to react quickly, and Kami waiting in the center, trying to get to the ball first. Actually bumps them out of the way, and Tainted Minds, again, still able to put the pressure on, but not able to maintain.
CJ has no boost, so he's not going to be able to get the clear here. It's going to be Retirement Home still in the offense, and it's been very back and forth. Neither team really holding possession for very long.
Still 0-0 at 1 minute 30. CJ waiting patiently with this ball, and I think having a little bit more control from what we saw last week, I think there's going to be a build-up of momentum in this series for Tainted Minds. Retirement Home coming off the back of a pretty dangerous series last time. Jules pushing forward up to Kami. Ball goes up and staying in this side of the field, getting the demo onto CJ. CJ. Kami will actually center it for them. Kia with the angle, and Jules sends it away.
The way it's going back and forth as well with just single opportunities coming out. Whichever team gets 3 good touches in a row, 3 good passes, is going to secure the first goal.
1 goal, that's all that's needed. 50 seconds left remaining. Jules hands it out. Talk about these passes. Kami's going in off the backboard. Who's there to react? And
you see again the miss. They just need to string it together. There needs to be that final finisher to get it through.
CJ went for the ball as well, and bit of miscoordination, but Tainted Minds getting some good opportunities on the board. Retirement Home still holding strong. CJ hands the ball up over to Kia. The clear will bounce off the wall and towards the center. Kami over to Jules. Jules hits it up, has a shot, but Days reacts well. CJ over the top, hits the backboard, and now Tainted Minds trying to strangle them out with 20 seconds left remaining. There's the pass to the center. Jules comes around, but it's a little bit to the left.
And this is the change-up. They're getting good touch after good touch, shot after shot, and the pressure is building up.
5 seconds left remaining. 0-0 overtime is going to come in, but Jules hitting it off the back wall. Kami. Now he's behind the ball, and it should just hit the ground. Overtime at 0-0.
Our first one of the day. Overtime here for Tainted Minds and Retirement Home. And it could be a long overtime like we saw last week.
Really would love to see it. I mean, you only get one of those every league play. But Tainted Minds now pushing off the wall. This is Kami. Coming off this corner. Kami leaves it over to CJ. CJ and... Sorry, that's Jules. CJ's hanging back. He now comes forward, hits off the backboard. Kami has an open net, and that's the first game for Tainted Minds.
Another open net opportunity. Kami to finish it off, but have a look at Elusive here. He had the chance to get the touch, and he missed it. And this is what's plaguing both teams right now, but more so Retirement Home.
It's a big issue because for Retirement Home, this is just not the confidence booster you want after the last series. I can't stop talking about how close Retirement Home came.
Yeah.
And Tainted Minds now taking the first game. This is a swing of momentum in TM's favour.
It was still a really close affair. Tainted Minds had more shots, but I felt that Retirement Home had good opportunities, had some good passes, some good infields right in front of the net, and they just weren't able to finish it off.
At the early part of that game, that was Retirement Home really kind of strangling out Tainted Minds, but felt like Tainted Minds kind of got their rotations on packed and started maybe speeding up the ball a little bit.
Tainted Minds, they cleaned it up. It was seemingly very much a warm-up game here.
Yeah.
They're both were missing the ball, but it sort of stopped halfway through, and finally Tainted Minds were getting those string shots, string theory that I'm pushing forward today in this match, apparently. Just getting that touch after touch after touch, and that is what Tainted Minds need to do to keep pressure. They're not about rotations. They're about clean touches and getting to the ball
Those
first.
1, 2, 3s, that's what we love about Tainted Minds, when they can get those powerful plays. And moments like this where we see a close game one makes me think that, okay, do Tainted Minds then do what the old Tainted Minds did a couple of weeks ago, where they just build up the speed of the series? Because Retirement Home right now, they're in a bit of an uncomfortable position.
They've been in a comfortable position for quite a while now. I mean, they came 4th in the OCE Open Series, even though we were expecting them to be the second best team.
Yeah.
And now they're in a position where they lost to Jam Gaming, and so every series is a must-win.
But it was one series, and I guess the benefit for Tainted Minds here is going against Retirement Home and finding that one-game win. How do they continue forward? Game 2, they've already pushed the ball up, and within 15 seconds, the first initial shot kind of comes from Tainted Minds.
This is a good start from Retirement Home as well, getting this early pressure, getting the early opportunity.
I believe Jules has just crashed as well and reloading. I saw him through the air, so maybe not. I think I'd take that one back, and Kami comes off the side of that backboard. There's the shot angled in. Jules, it's narrowly pinched out of the corner of that box, but Kia saving it away. Very close call.
That was a huge shot, but for Retirement Home to get that out of the defensive half at the same time as making a big save was a big effort, because now they've got the opportunity to attack.
But they've lost the ball, and CJ's passed it back, angled in, a bit far away from the net, and Kia getting the ball away. The one-on-one still won, because Kia should be able to come back here, and as the ball gets centered back down, Elusive comes in hot around from this corner. Now it's centered. Kia with the angle, and that was very close call.
No, it was the best touch possible as well. Getting it up off the corner into the roof was getting it past the Tainted Minds, and it's allowed Retirement Home to rotate back into attack.
CJ now waiting patiently for the ball. It's not really touched. The pass over to Kami, the 1-2, and the 3. That's what Tainted Minds are known for.
Kami stepping up. He is one of the best players here in the region, and look at this play. The first touch was perfection and just finishes that off. 1-0 now for Tainted Minds, looking to take this in a sweep.
And that was clean. That was methodical, and you can see why the audience are 60% behind our Tainted Minds here today. Kami coming in, drops over the ball. This is just missed, and this should be cleaned up, but it's still in play. 1-0, 3 minutes 30 remaining. That was a bit of a whoopsie doodle.
That was days, all 3 of them from Retirement Home. We saw Elusive miss earlier. We've seen Kia with some flops as well. This is real struggle town for Retirement Home, and it might be a little bit of lost spirits from the previous match.
I think, especially considering the way it went. But look at the passing now coming out of Tainted Minds. Still losing a couple of the challenges and getting beaten out to the ball, but when these clean passes come after that demolition, you can see the goal is open, and it'll be scored by CJ.
Jules could have put it in, but he gets the pass instead over to CJ to finish that off. A brilliant demolition from Kami to open up that net. It's 2 goals now for Tainted Minds. It's feeling a little bit insurmountable considering how they're playing.
I think that Tainted Minds are definitely coming back into their form here. Definitely improving on last week. Yeah, no. Well, I have to be definitive because Jules is playing well. That rolls over the top.
My goodness, Elusive! What are you doing? This was just... Oh, that hurts. That really, really hurts, Hysterics.
Try to be positive.
I can't be positive about that. No, Elusive's just... He's uninstalling.
No,
there's no way.
There's no way he's sticking around after this. The fake CJ again, as the ball is just sitting in front of net. Tainted Minds, they're looking much cleaner, but Retirement Home, they are struggling. And like we said, the morale, Kami goes for the power play. Jules is still in here, but CJ will secure it.
It's good shot by CJ, and Tainted Minds really need to prove that they were still a top team. They kind of lost a lot of spirits last week. They lost a lot of confidence, and this is going to really help them step it up, get into a good team mentality, and head towards their next game.
I cannot believe that Tainted Minds, last week fell so far behind, and we said, how did this happen? And for this week, for them to come back, I think it's a breath of fresh air for them, especially since Retirement Home, they're struggling. That's the first shot they've really had this game. 4-0, 2 minutes remaining, and I think it's just going to be, a word you used before, insurmountable in this series. That was a great bump by Kami.
Kami, you monster! Look at this aerial bump coming out right in front of the net. Elusive said, I've got this, but no.
With no
Straight
boost.
out of the net. Kami, what a killer.
That was a good way to send it up for the 5-0. And although this game looks like it's done and dusted.
There's 2 minutes left, Hysterics. I mean, technically that's enough time for a comeback, but it's also enough time for Tainted Minds to just go crushing ahead.
Well, they've done it again. That's going to hit the crossbar. CJ tries to bring it back in and looking for the goal record with only 2 minutes remaining. And for Retirement Home, yeah, morale's definitely coming into it.
We have to remember that in the off-season, Retirement Home was taking games off Tainted Minds. They were doing well. They got the win in an interesting scenario, but now it's a completely different story as a free net for Elusive.
Okay, so there's one, but there's 4 more, and it's highly unlikely at this stage. But for Tainted Minds, I think a 2-0 start into this series is great. Finding the series, whether it's 3-0, 3-1, whether Retirement Home can come back. For Tainted Minds, if they can take this series away, like you said, this is going to be great moving forward in the weeks ahead because they want to be above. They want to be with the Chiefs or, at the moment, maybe with Legacy saying, we're the best team in OCE.
After losing to Jam, they need to power through every single series. Retirement Home is a must-win because they still have Darksided, they still have Chiefs, Diverse, up next even, and those are going to be really difficult matches to take games from.
Tainted Minds, it's going to be the game of the week for the next series, Tainted Minds and Chiefs, and this is a great game to start with, especially if Tainted Minds playing like this, 5-1 at 1 minute remaining, and with a clean game 2, or cleaner as Elusive finds one.
Right now, Tainted Minds just so much looking for offense that they're not really covering the net too well. Jules trying to dive as best he can from in front of the ball, but it's not quite enough. Even then, Elusive might be getting a little bit of confidence here, looking towards game number 3 and perhaps reverse sweeping Tainted Minds just after they got reverse swept.
Potentially. And with that demolition, the ball's going to roll in front, but
Cum's
CJ,
been brutal this match.
he's sent it away. He has. 45 seconds is the shot on net. Saved away. And I think Tainted Minds have slowed down a little bit. They just want to make sure that Retirement Home don't have a chance whatsoever in game 2, and that's fair enough. And when you go into game 3, this is a Tainted Minds. I feel like, you know, I was worried. Well, now I'm a little bit worried because it's 30 seconds.
It's actually possible now. After being 5-0 down with 2 minutes, 3 goals coming back, 30 seconds left. It is doable.
Okay, so from what Tainted Minds were showing us, which was a huge confidence boost, now to a Retirement Home who...
There can be a point where you just get so many goals that you get confident, you start being a bit silly. You shouldn't be doing that if you're in Tainted Minds' shoes, but it is understandable. But it could come to bite them as another potential goal. That was the opportunity right there.
Super close call there from Tainted Minds, but the fact they managed to defend it means it should be all right. And Jules will set up the next one. Tainted Minds have pretty much secured themselves this game, but 2-0, there's going to be the last shot, and it ends up being a goal.
That one snuck in. A bit of a slower shot as the defense read a big bang into net, and it didn't come through. In fact, it was Daze and Elusive diving across that one. 6-3 is how this game's going to end up.
An interesting turn of events, especially when Tainted Minds have really just created doubt in everyone's minds from last week. Now no longer. And I think it's going to be interesting to see if Retirement Home can actually claw their way back in Game 3 because, again, those signs of life were definitely shown in Game 2.
The question is, was that Tainted Minds mucking around a little bit, or not mucking around, but having a bit more fun and being overly aggressive because they could afford to? Or was that Retirement Home bringing that back in? A couple of big solo plays out from Elusive right there, set up by Kia. And that could be the confidence they need to get back, but they have to make the reverse swing.
But the passing plays were online for Tainted Minds, and that's what fears me. When you go into Retirement Home and they can't read these plays, there were a lot of mistakes from Retirement Home, but Tainted Minds were able to push through the 1, 2s, and 3s, coming out quite easily.
You really can't give Tainted Minds an inch, because as soon as that any of those misses came out, it led to a goal. As soon as they backed off at all, Tainted Minds were able to secure a pass play. And it's not what we saw with Legs Are Silly. They weren't using that room quite as much. And Tainted Minds, you need to challenge them. You need to intercept.
I'm really hopeful that this series is a precursor to the next one for Tainted Minds, because that would create so much intensity going up against the Chiefs, who I dare say are in as great as form as maybe Tainted Minds are this week. I haven't seen Chiefs yet, but...
Interesting statement. Chiefs didn't have a great week last week, so they were in a very similar situation. But now, Retirement Home, we're looking at them and saying, okay, they're about to go 0-3. If they lose another game, they're on the back ropes.
That's right. Well, game 3. Let's see how they control it. They've started off huge. Look at the speed on this ball. CJ is going to have to recover it, and Jules came a little bit low in there. Kami is going to be able to push the ball up. Tainted Minds already passing it off. Jules, the top side of the net. Kami's back up. The ball goes over the top and will actually just get near goal. Hit up around the corner, and Tainted Minds look like they want to play fast this game.
They spend a good 30 seconds up near the roof. The ball not hitting the ground for a long time, so it seems aerial plays is how this game's going to start out.
Tainted Minds passing around this right wing. Kia brings it back down, but Jules is in position. CJ knocks it up. Jules hits it around to this corner. He's going to follow it. In fact, pops it around. This is perfect positioning in from Tainted Minds. Another shot comes through.
Tainted Minds is playing so fast, going up for every ball first, and it's so hard for Retirement Home, because if they challenge, then they might just get taken out of the game, but if they don't, they're giving Tainted Minds a free shot.
They're trying to challenge, they're trying to play fast. Jules hanging back, but the net has been spread a little bit thin. Kami's there, finds an inch, but does not take the mile. CJ around the corner will still bring it in, and Tainted Minds, they're playing that aggression game very well. Defense very much little at this stage of the game, and Tainted Minds are able to continue and get these big clears.
This is the Tainted Minds team. This is how we know that they play, and they're finally stepping up, even if they're not securing a goal.
Pinch out of the corner, Kami able to push it. Again, the ball sent back down, but always on top of it. They want to put their best foot forward. Game 3, they want a clean 3-0, where every game counts in the OCE Championship. The league play is going to be crucial for these teams to get into RLCS. This is the stepping stone. Jules brings it back. Tainted Minds now on the offensive with the angle in the corner. Unable to find it. CJ brings it back. Backboard has not been defended. Jules finds the opening.
Great read by Jules and a good commitment. He saw the defender there on the backboard, so close to hitting it, but it did not back him out. He could have moved back, let it go, but instead he commits and gets the goal for it.
Tainted Minds start with an early lead, and look at this mechanical play that we talk about with Tainted Minds. Players like CJ and Jules working so well together, and then Kami, almost like the glue that we were talking about with Sammy earlier.
It's so important as well that Jules is the one gaining all that confidence. He's the one that last week we saw him slowing down, worried about going for those aerial 50-50s. Well, he's getting up to those balls incredibly quick.
Send it through. Tainted Minds. The backboard again. It's been sent away by Elusive, but CJ comes in, pinches off all the way to Kami. With a slow touch, it becomes a clear, and Jules is up for the ball. Angle just misses it. Unfortunately, Kami hangs back. He's going to wait for Elusive. Ball's over the top. Now brought back down. Jules is here. Off the side. 2 minutes 30 remaining. Retirement Home getting pushed into defense once again. A light touch. CJ brings it back. This is a really interesting pass play. Works out to be the 1-2-3-4 around the side. Back and forth. Tainted Minds showing great ball control in this game 3.
It's at this point that Retirement Home really need to sit back and actually communicate with each other how they're going to deal with this. I think they should be getting up and challenging the ball and trying to beat out Tainted Minds. Just like that scenario, it's going to give them so much more control over the match.
So much room for Tainted Minds still, though. Yummy and Jules is able to come through, but the ball's been sent away. Kami comes off the wall. It's been cleared crossfield. Day's back on. Pinches it out of the side. Over to CJ. Elusive up for the ball. Kia also up for the ball. And looking more for these challenges. Now 2 defenders versus 2 attackers. And Days comes in as well. But the pass works out for CJ. They have to scramble back. And now CJ, with a full tanker boost, is able to set it up for Kami. Jules come in to finish it off. Met up by Elusive. And more of those challenges we see from Retirement Home.
That's some of the clever plays that they were able to set up off the roof. CJ trying to get the pass. but it did not pan out this time.
Angle off the backboard. CJ's here as well. Still getting creative. Kami off the side. Now, running out of boost. He's going to have to scramble back. The Demolitions playing aggressively. Tainted Mind still lead by 1. A convincing one at that. CJ pops it over to Kami. Retirement Home, they're starting to win some of these challenges, starting to win more out of the ball. And if they can find that one big play, maybe they can scramble back.
It's going to be just one pass play coming through, and it's right now that's the best opportunity they've had so far. It's still getting beaten out by Tainted Minds on pace.
But Elusive has been able to bring the ball back down, and around this corner, Kia should be able to angle it again. CJ there, passes it back, but Elusive hands it all the way over. Retirement Home, maybe one last play left in the system. Kami doesn't get the touch on the ball. He'll have to follow it down, and Retirement Home, they've just been cleared once more. For Tainted Minds, they're looking down the barrel of a 3-0. The Demolition onto Kia, but the play is still in effect. It gets cleared around the other side, and I dare fear that for Tainted Minds at 3-0, that's going to be the momentum swing that we're talking about. And for Tainted Minds, you have to say, this is a much better week.
This was a 3-0 after getting 0-3 last week. Tainted Minds have stepped up. Even CJ in that last game was able to have a big effort and a big control over that match. But really, for me, it's all about Jules gaining that confidence.
I think the three of them working in unison is the Tainted Minds that can again go to RLCS. I'm proud of Jules in that game, particularly because I saw the consistency that maybe he's lacked in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, and he had the confidence to come forward as well and finish a lot of the plays, which is something they really need. As a team that can do those gross passes, having a third man to finish the touches is always good.
What makes a pass gross?
What makes a pass gross is when it's so hard to stop. You're like, ugh, even if I wanted to, I can't get to it.
They're big bangs across the pitch. They're really difficult, really fast. And now we have to sort of think about with Tainted Minds, how consistent are they playing? Because they've had 1 week where they played poorly. This week they played well. And I think next match will really determine that.
Yeah, I think this will be a case where I think that they're going to be okay. They looked a little bit more seriously. They brought their stuff together. And I think it would have shown on the pitch with trust whether or not they weren't confident. And they gave each other a lot of room, which was juxtaposed quite heavily against Retirement Home. For even in the last game, there were so many times. I had a little tally that I had going for double commits, and I
wouldn't make that signal.
Yeah, that's probably true.
No, but for Retirement Home, I mean, getting beaten out 0-3, I am really confident that Tainted Minds have found their front foot forward again. And although it was just Retirement Home, I am confident that the next series for Tainted Minds is going to be tighter than ever.
Yeah.
No? Oh, thanks so much. So, D-Gents, before you just, one answer me again, do you have yourself a front runner for the MVP by HP?
I think I'd have to give it to Kami. I mean, he had a huge match. It doesn't matter the fact that Jules stepped up. Kami was what got them into it in the first place.
Yeah, chat was just like, every time Kami moved forward, it's like, GG. I'm like, yeah, that's fair.
But that's what happens with Kami, and that's what happens when Tainted Minds 3-0 Retirement Home. Up next, the match of the week, dictated by Hysterics. Tainted Minds taking on the Chiefs Esports. We'll see you in 5.